It is the 27th of June at 7:59, and my appointment's at 8. I think you have to understand, many locations you go to, it's not so much that you have a hard set appointment to deliver at that time, but they want you to be there no later than that. But it's really just to stagger the trucks that are arriving in order to make sure that there's not a bunch of trucks piled up waiting to unload at the exact same time. Otherwise, you can end up sitting here for hours at locations waiting to unload because it just hasn't opened an appointment and there's 30 trucks there waiting to unload. I've been to those spots. That's not fun. Yeah, you get detention pay, but it's not as much as you get when you're driving. So that's what I've hauled. It's 5 painted coils. As you can see, they're different illustrious colors that they can use for the manufacturing of whatever they want to manufacture with them. There's another Maverick truck unloading right now. His coils were laid down eye to the side, 5 of them. I'm not sure if they were painted. They may just be regular steel coils. But I was parked along the side of the building, did all my untarping and unchaining there, and then swung into this position here. So I can, as soon as when he pulls out, I left. It may be optically not show it, but there's plenty of room for him to pull out and turn to the right without any danger of hitting the building or my truck or any other vehicles. So I'm in a position to where when he pulls out, I can go ahead and back up to the door. I believe I require a technician here to back me in, so I will wait for that. And then we'll proceed with the rest of the day. We'll see how it goes. I stayed the night at, as my previous video probably showed, at the Portage, Indiana Maverick facility. And it was hard to sleep anywhere past 5 a.m. I kept looking at my at my phone to see what time it was. I'm like, wow, why can't I sleep anymore? It's actually a lot cooler right here in the shade than any other spot, even in my truck. So maybe I'll just stand here. Well, that was entertaining, right? Okay. I want to say it's about 6 o'clock. This is the I-65 southbound rest stop that they've been fixing for the last 2 years. It's finally open. I don't know what exit number it's near, but anyway, I'm on my way. I started out in Portage, Indiana, and I am headed to Homerville, Georgia, which is really close to the Florida border. It's a little over 900 miles. And I've got 2 coils on skids. And the tarp is, the way I'm tarping now, everything stays nice and tight now, and I'm really liking it. I'm gonna have to, like I said before, possibly give a demonstration. And it's really just, I guess, a refresher that I saw on how to tarp the Maverick way. And not saying it's the best way, but just a way to keep everything nice and tight. The thing that I think was different, and I'm gonna have to look at the video again, but when I was in school, they taught us to put the excess in the back. But on this most recent video, I'm thinking that it was in the front this time. And it made me think, because that's the way I do it. I've always done it to the front because I've always felt that the air pressure hitting the front of it holds down on the tarp and the material in there. Whereas when you put it on the back, you can have instances where it's flapping out because of air pressure and whatnot, ends up kicking it out the back, no matter how hard you try, it seems. So I'll have to find out. It's doing really well. It's only 34,000 pounds. I'm kind of doing a half-hour break. am doing a half-hour break. There's a ton of parking at this particular rest stop, and just down the road is a Love's that I've always parked at because this particular facility was always closed in the last 2 years I've been driving. And let's see here if I can show really quick if the sun will not interfere, which it is. Maybe you can kind of make that out. I can barely see, but you can see that's where I'm at in Kentucky. I'm going to be going around Nashville and then all the way down to the bottom of Georgia. I'm scheduled to deliver either tomorrow or Thursday is what the options have. And based on what's going on right now, I'm most likely going to be there tomorrow and deliver it tomorrow, which is won't be an issue because there is a truck stop. I've been to this place before. There's a quasi truck stop like 1 mile from this facility. So if I get there and there's nothing to pick up that night, like I'm picking up in the morning, there's a place I can go park. So I'm not stressed too much about this. Is going to be an easy or a less stressful run for me. I have got, let's see if this shows it, 3 hours and 50 minutes on my drive clock and 3 hours and 10 minutes on my 14-hour clock. So that means, and I've only got an hour and 45 on my 8-hour rest break. So I'm doing a 30-minute break right now, which will reset that to a full 8 hours. But I'll only have the 14-hour clock left to drive of that, if that makes sense. And so been here for 10 minutes, so in 20 minutes I'll have approximately 2 hours and 50 minutes left to drive. I'm not going to drive that late because, what time is it now? 5:15, 6, 7, 8. You know, that's where you start running into possible not being able to find a place to park or a convenient place. I always find a place to park. But it may be it makes it more inconvenient in my experience to find a place to park after or getting around 8 o'clock or later in the evening. So I'm going to stop this video now, and that'll be pretty much what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to scour Google Maps on my shortcut to see if I can find a parking spot a couple hours from now, and we'll go from there. And yeah, but I'm going to try to avoid Nashville, Tennessee, and save some miles and some time. We'll see, because it's always 50-50 going through Nashville. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, there could be traffic, and especially in the evening time. I don't know why it really fills up there. So I tend to go around it when I can, and it's actually shorter miles by the route I take when I head south past Nashville. So, see you tomorrow. Okay, it's like 7-something. Pilot across the street, packed. Even the side street where people park when all the spots are full, packed full of cars. So I came over here across the street, and a bunch of empty spots. I saw the empty spots before I even pulled into the Pilot, but I figured, well, I'll pull over there because I can use Pilot points to pay for stuff for free. And looks like this guy's probably got the same idea as I do, because if he stopped by the Pilot first, there's no spaces. Which happens, you know, it's I think it's like 7:40 something. And he's backing way up. He's got sliding axle, so the rear of his trailer is going to be hanging over the grass, which is fine. Mine stops right at the curb. And I've got plenty of space for trucks to get by I don't know who, probably, I doubt anybody parks in those few spots that are right there, because it would be so difficult to get out once you got in if you got trapped in there. So, anyway, that is it for today. I got parking where I was planning on parking, just across the street. So, I mean, if I wanted to, I could walk across the street and shop at the Pilot, but nah, that's okay. I'm good. I got food in my truck.